All right, Kentucky.
Mm.
You've got them. I'm gonna agree with you here. I'm way in on this team. Now, despite losing all it lost, bring back National Player of the Year Oscar Tshiebwe, who can he rep? All right, let's just start there before we get to the rest of the roster, get to the schedule, win predictions, get to Calipari and all this stuff. Is Tshiebwe going to repeat as National Player of the Year? Let's make the prediction right here, August, mid to late August of 2022. Will that happen? Are we going to have back-to-back National Player of the Year in men's college basketball for the first time since? Geez, I'd have to look this up. It's been
trivia time.
You got it?
Yes, I got it.
All right.
Who was the last player? Let's just go player. Who was the last player to win back-to-back Naismith Awards?
I'm gonna say Bill Walton. Naismith. Yeah, I'll say Walton. Naismith, I think, was established.
Happened more recently than that. It happened in the 80s.
Happened in the 80s. Yeah. Ewing?
No, he was a Naismith Player of the Year, but never did it back-to-back.
Okay. Give me two more guesses. I feel like I should be able to get this in 4. Back-to-back Naismith winner.
This person won it while Patrick Ewing was in school at Georgetown.
I don't feel like Olajuwon did this, so I'm not going to officially log him as a vote just yet. So we're looking early 80s, and we're thinking about the most prominent teams, most prominent players. I don't think Jordan did this. He wasn't even the best player as a freshman at Carolina.
Jordan was a Naismith Player of the Year.
But not back-to-back.
No.
Yeah. It was while you... All right, Olajuwon will be guess 3. I don't think that's it, though.
Olajuwon was never a Naismith Player of the Year.
Okay. How angry am I going to be at not getting this?
Well, I mean, you'll know it, but it would not have
Oh, you know what? I got it. I got you. Ralph Sampson.
It is Ralph Sampson.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
He won it 3 straight years.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's a ridiculous.
81, 82, 83. While I was looking this up, the other thing I noticed is that the National Player of the Year in college basketball used to be a future NBA star. Like in this range, you've got Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Ralph Sampson 3 times. And now like our players of the year are Luka Garza, Obi Toppin.
Yeah, baby.
Frank Mason.
Yes.
Frank Kaminsky.
Oh,
Doug McDermott, Trey Burke. Like the last, unless you count Zion. And I guess you can.
He's
an NBA star.
Yeah.
He never plays, but he's a star. The last National Player of the Year to like be a legitimate NBA star is Anthony Davis in 2012. I mean, Jalen Brunson's a very good NBA player, but he's never even been an all-star.
Going to change the entire trajectory of the Knicks, man. What are you talking about?
We'll see. I hope so. But yeah, it's like Anthony. We haven't had a Naismith National Player of the Year develop into a legitimate NBA star outside of Zion.
Develop is carrying.
Yeah, outside of Zion. Yeah. The last one was Anthony Davis, which was more than a decade ago, which is just sort of interesting because, like, you know, Naismith Award became a thing in 1969. That was Lou.
Well, he was a thing in the 1890s, but I know what you're saying.
The award.
He was no 2-year-old Tony Hinkle.
I was trying to think of that. I couldn't think of I couldn't think of 2-year-old Tony Hinkle.
How could you not? How dare you?
I forgot about 2-year-old.
Unacceptable.
Lou, like you had Lou Alcindor, Pete Maravich, Bill Walton 3 times, David Thompson, Larry Bird. Like these guys are Hall of Fame level guys, and that's not really who the National Player of the Year has become over the past decade or so. Either way. So if the question is, can Oscar do it?
Will.
Okay.
Will.
Well, my official answer will be no.
Same.
Because I just get literally everybody else.
That's why you have to take everybody else. That's
yes.
Right. Yeah.
But what is Oscar Tshiebwe clearly the favorite? How about this? I do not think he'll be if you tell me I can take literally every other player in the country or Oscar Tshiebwe, I'm taking every other player in the country. But who is most likely to be the National Player of the Year? I do think that is Oscar Tshiebwe because there's no reason to think he'll be anything other than the statistical monster he was last season. there's very few reasons to think Kentucky won't be very, very good again this season. And that's the other thing. Kentucky was really good last season. It's just nobody remembers it because of the Peacocks. They finished 6th at KenPom. They were 5th in offensive efficiency, even though they didn't shoot the ball well from the perimeter. They won at Kansas by 18 points. That team was good last season.
Yes.
So I'm assuming they're going to be really good / great this season. I'm assuming Oscar's going to post the same kind of numbers, and that's National Player of the Year stuff.
He averaged 17.4 points and 15.1 rebounds last season, became just the second player in basically 4 decades to average north of 15 points and 15.1 boards in a season. I expect him to duplicate that. Now it's hard. 15 boards in a game in a 40-minute game is hard, but Tshiebwe is an absolute monster. We are in the process of completing our Candid Coaches series. And one of the questions we ask every single year, so it will be on the board again this season, is who do you think the best player in the country will be? And obviously Tshiebwe has received some votes, but we'll see just how close his competition is. I will say on my returns, he is not running away with it. So it will be interesting to see. I will say he's going to be a first-team All-American. I'd be stunned if it would have to result in just a bizarre plot twist. Oh, by the way, this is random as hell. Like 2 nights ago, I don't know why. 2 nights ago, I had a dream that Bob Huggins was trying to recruit Oscar Tshiebwe back to West Virginia away from Kentucky. And like I was somewhere and they were like 30 feet away from me on a sidewalk, and Huggins got out of a van and he was having this like clandestine meeting with Tshiebwe. And I was like, I got to report this. But then again, like I got to wait until he's actually like he's back in West Virginia. And like it was weird, man. It was no incrimination of Mr. Huggins. None. But I did have that dream like 2 nights ago. Yeah.
If I were Bob Huggins, I would try to recruit Oscar Tshiebwe.
Sure, he probably is right now. Anyway, it would take something drastic, injury otherwise, for Tshiebwe not to be a first-team All-American. He will be the centerpiece. But what makes it interesting is, how much is he going to develop offensively overall? So much of his value came in being just a monster in the paint, wonderful rebounder, really good defensive player. I think he can actually get even better defensively. And then Kentucky was good because there were a lot of really nice pieces around it. Now, Sahvir Wheeler back. Cason Wallace is maybe your sneaky, not so sneaky, I mean, highly rated prospect. Maybe he winds up being the best freshman in the country. I think there's certainly potential there. CJ Frederick is going to be available finally via Iowa. And is this the breakout season for Jacob Toppin? Is Jacob Toppin going to emerge as... If Tshiebwe is going to be the best player, will we look up in mid-December, mid-January and see Jacob Toppin as the number 2 guy on this roster? I know Kentucky fans are really excited about this. He's shown well in the exhibition. They just, Kentucky went to the Bahamas and, teams they were playing were the teams they were playing. I get all that. But offensively, they did look well. I don't know if you do or don't have some of that prepped for this pod, GP, but I was looking over it. And I think there are some good indications right now with what Kentucky can be on offense again. Toppin, they've got what's his name from Antonio Reeves from Illinois State, who was like a 19, 20 point per game kind of guy. And last season, Kentucky ranked 5th in offensive efficiency in the country. 5th. And this was after, we had heard how much they had needed to revamp their offense going into last season. That worked coming off the 9-win season. I understand that Kentucky fans losing to St. Peter's, 9 wins the season before. Like Cal, I was on radio a few days ago in Louisville, I guess it was. And yeah, you can objectively say that John Calipari going into the season faces more pressure than he's ever had since being at Kentucky. And then really you go beyond that. This wasn't there at Memphis to the same level. Maybe Parrish, you can answer this. Maybe his first season at Memphis, but I can't tell you the last time Cal actually entered a season in college with as much on him as this season, which isn't to say he's on the hot seat. He's not. But just Kentucky fans, they don't take kindly to a 9-win season followed up by a loss to a 15 seed, no matter that St. Peter's wound up going to the Elite Eight. I do buy into this team. I buy into the talent. I buy into Tshiebwe, and I think it's going to be a top 5 team in America. But that expectation paired with the results from the past couple of years, I do think offers up a very intriguing dynamic around this Kentucky team, particularly when as we've seen recently, and I know you talked about it on the episode that I was on recently, like Cal's also made it, he makes it noisy every offseason, but like he's made it noisy in a way where it's kind of come back on him in ways that it hasn't in years before. And so no shortage of intrigue around Lexington as we get ready to head into the fall here.
I would argue that John's never entered a season of college basketball under more fan pressure than he's under right now. Not to say that if they disappoint, he'll be fired. They owe him so much money, and I'd have a hard time seeing it go there. I'd never rule anything out, but I'd have a hard time seeing it go there. But there is no denying that the results have fallen off. The recruiting classes really haven't, but the results have. Because like people remember how it in Memphis those last 4 years, where it was like Elite Eight, title game, or it was like Elite Eight, title game, Sweet 16, something like that. They won more games in that 4 year period than any team in the history of college basketball. I believe that was true until they had to vacate 2008. But before that, it was, I want to say one NCAA tournament win and one, is this guy worth the money we're paying him? Or is this guy, ever going to get this back where it's going? But it wasn't like, and if he doesn't, we might be time to, because at Memphis, it was kind of understood. You can't do better than this guy. And whereas at Kentucky, they think they can have whoever they want. And so he's under real job pressure right now because, again, the results have fallen off. He went to the Final Four in his second year at Kentucky. First team was the John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins team that was, probably should have won the national championship. They lose to Bob Huggins in the Elite Eight. But he goes to the Final Four in year 2, win national title in year 3. He made 4 Final Fours in his first 6 seasons at Kentucky. That's crazy. 4 Final Fours, first 6 seasons at Kentucky. So that's where he set the bar. He made 0 Final Fours in the past 7 seasons at Kentucky. 4 in the first 6, 0 in the past 7. Hasn't won an NCAA tournament game since 2019. And 2 years ago, worst season in modern history. Last season, lost to Peacocks in the first round of the tournament. He's under real job pressure. And I think the incident, to the extent that it's an incident, that he had with Mark Stoops, the football coach there, sort of underlines that. It is impossible. It would have been impossible 5 years ago to think John Calipari could say anything. The football coach at Kentucky might feel disrespected, speak up against John Calipari, and Kentucky fans would side with the football coach. That would have been impossible to imagine not too long ago. But that actually just happened. And again, the football coach came out of it stronger than the basketball coach.